In this video, we'll keep talking about our SQL assignment 2. So we'll start with question 6. So for all the employees that have a BA degree and those fringe, find out the total number of orders they processed. As always, we start with 3 levels of data we need. So we find the employee information with the table we need. And BA degree basically is a value, right? We're going to search from the loads data attribute from the employee table. And then we're going to use some pattern match. Same thing, those fringe, we know the loads attribute inside the employee table have some description about each employee. So we are going to search the fringe inside that attribute and find out the total number of orders they processed. That's basically we need the order information, right? We need the order ID to count the number of orders they processed. So basically, we need 2 tables. First, employee tables and order tables. And inside employee tables, we need the employee ID. We need the notes attributes. And in the order table, we need the order ID and employee ID to join the employee table with. And then BA degree and fringe, they are data value. We need to build a pattern to find out those employees who meet the condition. So let's do it. So we're going to join the employee table A inner join with the order tables, right? B on A the employee ID equal to B the employee ID. So let's test the join first. Make sure the join is correct. I say once join is done, these are just big table. They have the data attributes from both tables. So after this, we're going to say we're going to compare the loads with that BA degree. As we discussed in class, why I put the BA degree specifically, because if we put a bachelor degree, you may find out there's like a BA or BS. They are both like a correct abbreviation for the bachelor degree. So when I put the BA degree, I just want a BA degree. So that makes things easier. So basically here we're going to say loads like what? Like this pattern. So we want to make sure they have the BA degree. So we want to make sure the loads contain the BA, this word. But BA, this cannot be correctly because say, what if we have MBA? The MBA is actually a basketball league. So basically it's not a bachelor degree, right? So we are not going to use this. So we're going to have a blank space. Otherwise, MBA will also be picked up. So that means we're going to use this one, and there is a blank space to make sure the BA is a separate word, okay? So then we do not care about what's left. We're going to use this one. Then, like, we're going to say and loads, like, and knows the fringe. Similarly, we're going to put the fringe. But as we mentioned, ideally we should also give us a blank space in front of fringe because fringe is a new word, right? So we do something like this. That will be the only list the only employee who has a BA degree and those fringe. So we have 33 employees. No, that's because we join the 2 tables together, and these are just to have some duplicates. You can see here we have many duplicates here. So that's why we're going to use a unique. But the question you're asking, so list this employee and the number of orders they processed. So we just put here the employee ID, for example, or first name, like this, or and last name if you want to put here to make it more complete information, and then count the order, right, as number of order processed. But of course, we should use a group by to make this query statement more complete. So we have this information. Okay, of course, very common error, ambiguous employee ID. So just let the system know we're using this ADA employee ID. So we got this information, see here. So that these are employee who has a BA degree and knows French. So we need the number already processed. So in this case, even there is an employee who has the same first name, same last name, we should be able to separate them by using the employee ID, right? Then we simply copy the statement back to our worksheet. See here, and our results to worksheet as well, and remove the format. So let's work on question 7. List the largest 5 customers' name by sales and sort the results by sales in descending order. As you can see here, they share similar features for the question we have worked on. List the top 5 employees who has processed the most orders. Okay, so here of course for the same procedure, identify the information we need from the 3 levels: table levels, data attributes, and data value. Read through the question again. List the largest 5 customer name. Basically, we know we need the customer's name information from customer table, of course, right? By sales, that means we do not have a sales attribute from any of the tables. So that sales can be calculated by using the quantity information from our order detail table and the price information from the product table. So basically we need the order detail table and we need the product table, right? And then we already talked about the data attributes needed from those 2 tables. So basically, let's do it. So once again, we simply type this one from what? From the customer, right? Customer. A inner join what? Because we need the order detail table, and we need the product table to calculate sales, but we do not, or we cannot join the customer table directly with the order detail table. Because why? Because they do not share any common data fields. That's why I have emphasized many times that we must be very familiar with our table structure and how those tables are connected to each other. So here we have to introduce another link table or bridge table, which is orders table, because orders table contain a lot of connecting information or foreign key information. You can see here, order table, they have order ID, this is the primary key, but they have customer ID, which is a foreign key from the customer table, employee ID, which is a foreign key from employee table. Then they have the shipper ID, which is a foreign key to connect the shippers table, right? So basically, we want to join the customers table and the orders tables first. So in this case, after the join table, we got the customer information and we have order ID information. Then we can use order ID information to connect with the order details table, right? So here we join with B on A dot, here is a customer ID equal to B dot customer ID, right? So test the join first, as always. Sounds about right. So we can change the format so it's easier to see what our tables will join together. So right now we have the customer table and the orders table joined together. We have the access to all the attributes from these 2 tables. In other words, if we give these 2 joined table a new name called T, this table T will have all the data fields listed here, including the order ID. So we can join the table T with the order detail table because they share the commonly used data fields called order ID, right? Of course, we have to replace T back to the 2 join table because we have to specify which table we use to join with the order detail table, right? So inner join order detail on C, give it a name, on C dot order ID with B dot order ID, which is orders table, B dot order ID. Test the join first. Sounds like it worked just fine. So you have customer information, they have order information, they have the order detail information, right? And finally, because we need to calculate the sales, the price information is come from the product table. So we have inner join with the product table, which give it the name D on D the product ID equal to order detail tables order product ID, which is C the product ID, right? Check the join again. Sounds about right. So if we scroll to right, we say we got the product information, the price information as well. So right now we're going to group the information by customer because we are trying to list the top customer by its sales, right? So we're going to group the sales by the customer. So then we're going to say here is the customer name, and we're going to group by the sale. Sale is quantity because we have joined all table listed together, so we have access to all data fields come from those tables. Price and sales. So basically we are going to add the group by the customer name, right? After this, we have the sales by each customer. But right now, once again, we are not display all the customer information. We only want to pick the top 5. So basically, first, we're going to sort order by the sales. Here we calculated this column and use a descending order. So we know those people, those customers who purchased the most, we're going to list on the top. Then similarly, we put a limit 5. Basically, that will give us information for only 5 customers are picked. Those are biggest customer, right? So we simply copy this statement back to our worksheet and the results back to our worksheet as well. That's basically, and remove the format. So that's basically the answer for this question. And then we can move to the number 8. So number 8 is easy because it say what is average price of all the products supplied by Mar Mason. So we can still follow that procedure. What are the tables we need? So we need the products, and price is inside the product table, right? So we need the product table, we need the price data field inside the product table, and then we have the supplier data needed because the Mar Mason definitely is a supplier's name, right? So we need the information from supplier table. So basically that's it. So we just go back to this statement. This is the interface say we need information from the product table A, inner join with the supplier tables B on A the supplier's ID equal to B the supplier ID. Test the join first always, so you can fix the error in the early stage. Once we have this one, then we're going to do what? We're going to limit our product because we only want to the product supplied by Mar Mason. So where the supplier name here from the supplier table equal to Mar Mason, right? So that will give us only 2 products are supplied by the Mar Mason. Then the question is asking us the average price. So we have to give it the average price using the average function. So we just put this one as average price. So that will be our answer for this question. Of course, you can put this information in front of the average price, so it gives us more information. So we know this average price is for this Mar Mason, right? So of course, as always, we should add the group by to make this statement more complete, like that. So we got this information. We know this average price is for the product supplied by Mar Mason. Okay, so just simply copy this one and back to the statement along with the results, back to the query statement, the query worksheet, and remove the format, and that's about it. Of course, this question can also be answered by using the subquery. So we still need the information from supplier table and the product table. But think about what is the final information we need. We need the information from the product table, which is the average price. So we can work on another way, use a subquery. So we select the average price, say here as average price from product table. That's basically the average price for all the product inside the product table. But that's not what we want. We only want those products supplied by Mar Mason. So that's why we need to use a subquery to filter the data. Of course, we know we're going to use the supplier's ID because we're going to filter the supplier's name information using Mar Mason inside the supplier table. So in this X will be select the supplier's ID from supplier table where the supplier's name equal to Mar Mason, right? So if we run this query statement, it will only return this supplier whose name is Mar Mason. So we have this supplier ID, and then we get replaced by this subquery. It will give us the same information. But as always, we cannot add the supplier's name in front of this average price because supplier name is inside this subquery, and which we do not have access to. We only have access to the information inside the products table, and the price is just the one attribute inside the product table. That's why we can access it. So we can copy this one as a new way. This is a subquery method. This is inner join method, and here is the results we get. And these results do not have the supplier's information there. We do not have supplier's name information because we do not have access to it.